Attention, the following broadcast has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Outcasted OC, and damn, this feels like it's been a while for me. I have missed a lot of wrestling over the past couple of weeks, mainly because I've been preparing for the vacation that I went on, or holiday, depending on where you're watching this from. And NXT this week was my first dive back into it. I've not seen Night of Champions. I've not seen last week's SmackDown. I've not even seen this week's Monday Night Raw. I have got a lot to catch up on, but I wanted to watch NXT because I wanted to see what was going on in the developmental brand, seeing as though I heard there was a lot of free agents showing up this week. So let's dive straight on into it. Oh, wait, no, before we do, how about you click that like button? How about you subscribe to the channel? And how about you celebrate by, by sharing this video with all your friends and saying, Reese is back. Reese is back in the Outcasted OC, baby, because we've got a podcast coming tomorrow as well. But now let's get straight into it after all that self-plugging. Oh, by the way, you can follow me on TikTok. Now let's get into the video. We opened the show with one of these free agents that I have been talking about. Baron Corbin is backstage, walking through backstage, and he tells the guy who, controls the music to, play his music. So he does play his music. Baron Corbin comes out to the ring and says, I am so sick of everyone backstage being so entitled and being so, oh, why haven't I been called up yet? Why have I not been chosen for the main roster? I should be the one getting these title opportunities. And he says, people like me, the originators, people who came up from FCW and started NXT, who took it all the way to the Barclays Center, 16,000 sold out. You are all so quick to take these opportunities and so slow to earn them. So I'm here in NXT to put everything right. I'm okay with this. I think that's pretty cool for Baron Corbin. I'm glad that he's back up in NXT. I put a TikTok up today saying I'm glad that Baron Corbin is back in NXT. Not because I don't like the guy. I think he's very, very good. I think he's one of the most underappreciated people in WWE, to be honest with you. So I'm back. I'm glad he's back in NXT. He's like I said, he was calling a lot of people soft. One of the people who disagrees with him and one of the people who isn't soft, Ilya Dragunov, comes out to the ring and says, you think everyone in this locker room is soft. I'm here to confront you and say it to your face. I want you in the ring, and he wants him tonight. Baron Corbin is absolutely happy with that and basically says he doesn't want the smoke. He's going to embarrass him. Ilya Dragunov is like, fine, we'll face tonight. Before Baron Corbin can even get out of the ring, Trick Williams attacks him from behind because apparently at Battlegrounds are something else that I didn't see. Baron Corbin attacked the NXT champion Carmelo Hayes. So Trick Williams wants revenge for that tonight. So it looks like he is like getting pulled in loads of different directions. Baron Corbin already. Ilya Dragunov wants a little bit of him. Trick Williams wants a piece of him. There's a lot going on. Backstage, we cut to backstage where Thea Hale is getting ready for the Women's Battle Royal later on tonight. She's been getting trained for the Battle Royal, a lot of different moves, like wrist locks and stuff like that. And Duke Hudson says, none of that's going to help in the Battle Royal tonight. You're going to need to throw people over the top rope. I can't wait for this Women's Battle Royal as I'm watching NXT. I always love a good Battle Royal, especially when there's something important on the line, like an opportunity for an NXT Women's Championship. So I'm happy about this. We then cut backstage before the next match to Bron Breakker attacking Ilya Dragunov backstage, saying he's the most intense guy. Is that right? Okay, well, I'll show you who's intense. I'm going to attack you, Ilya Dragunov, you SOB. So it looks like the match between Baron Corbin and Ilya Dragunov is not taking place tonight. Later on in the night, we find out that's been pushed to next week, and we don't really know the medical status of Ilya Dragunov because of this attack from Bron Breakker. So tonight, instead, we're getting Trick Willie, baby. Trick Willie versus Baron Corbin later on tonight. I always love a good Trick Willie match. I think he's a great hype man, but I think he's very underutilized in the ring. I think he's very, very good. Next match, we get the Schism versus Diamond Mine. Now, I think this was a weird match. And by the way, Schism consists of Jagger Reed and the other guy. I don't know his name. GYV. And Ava Rain versus the Diamond Mine. That'd be Julius and Brutus Creed and Ivy Nile. This was a bit of a confusing match to me. Like the Diamond Mine were in control for most of this match. I want to say like 85, 90% of this match. The Diamond Mine were just absolutely destroying the Schism until later on in the match, Ava Rain is in the match with Ivy Nile. Ava Rain hits Ivy with a mask. Ref does not see it, counts to 1, 2, 3. The Schism come out with the victory. I don't really know what this means for either team. I know now Schism have got a little bit of momentum heading into next week, but we'll get a little bit more information about that later on. The Diamond Mine, like I said, were very, very dominant. Baron Corbin was talking a lot about people who, I want to be called up to the main roster. I want to be called up to the main roster. Now, I think the Diamond Mine should be on the main roster. Like, I don't know about you guys. I think they're one of the teams who don't really have much more to do in NXT and would really be great on Raw or SmackDown. I was very surprised in the draft that they weren't called up. But yeah, like the Schism get a victory over the Diamond Mine, which is probably the best decision, to be honest with you. Like I say, they've got probably more time left in NXT than the Diamond Mine does. But moving on, we get a segment here where we visit Tony D'Angelo in prison. Stacks visits Tony D'Angelo while he's locked up and speaks to him. Tony D says it's actually not going so bad in prison. There's a lot of people in here that he knows. He gets a subscription to Peacock. The guards have managed to hook him up with that, so he gets to watch NXT the day after. They carry on talking about all the associates that they know. Tony D'Angelo believes that it's Gallus that sent him to prison, that ratted on him, but he actually wants Stacks to find out who the rat was and take care of it. 1 versus 3 isn't going to cut it, Tony D says, so maybe think about getting some allies. I think that's what's going to be on the cards. Who are going to be the allies, though, for Stacks? Maybe they're going to be bringing in some new people. Maybe they're going to just be using people from the roster. Who knows? I would quite like to see Tony D'Angelo's family expand a little bit, seeing as though it's called a family and we only see 2 people. One is the boss, one is the underboss. Like I say, I said this a couple of weeks ago. I think we should get that crooked lawyer. I can't remember his name anymore. In the Tony D family, I think that'd be really cool. But Tony D'Angelo is still locked up. We still don't know who the rat is. I think this was a great segment. And speaking of great segments, this was my favorite segment of the night. Just because Von Wagner is like, he's one of the worst actors I have ever seen. Like, he's got no charisma whatsoever. But Von Wagner is in therapy. Robert Stone is still trying to help out Von Wagner get out of his rut or like his problems or his anger management issues. So he sends him to different therapists, and it's not working out. Von Wagner apparently keeps on attacking the therapist. He refuses to open up, and it's just absolutely going nowhere. So at the point where Von Wagner is about to give up, this guy comes out of the therapist room, absolutely crying his eyes out, saying, "Thank you, doctor, so much." And Von Wagner's looking at him like, "I don't think this is for me, Robert. I'm off. I'm going." Until the door opens and this absolutely smoking hot therapist comes out, absolutely catches the eye of the of Von Wagner immediately, and Von Wagner's like, "You know what? I'm gonna give this a try." Robert Stone gets up to go in with him, and he goes, "No, you stay there, Robert." And as he goes into the door, he turns around to Robert and like he gives him a little bit of a gleaming smile, and he goes, "Ding!" Like there's like a little bit of a diamond smile, like, "Oh God, oh my God, what is this? What is this? What is going on with Von Wagner?" Oh, like the implications of this are hilarious to me. Like this whole thing was framed so funny, and just because of Von Wagner's like lack of charisma, it made it even funnier. It was just absolutely amazing, and just for that, I am interested to see what is going to be happening with Von Wagner in the future. I don't even know what else to say about this. The implementation is the implementation, is that right? The inference. I think that's a better word. I think that's the right word. I think what they're inferring is that Von Wagner is off to shag the therapist. I think. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about that. The The next match, we have got Blair Davenport and Danny Palmer. Now, over the past couple of weeks where I've not been able to cover NXT, it's been revealed that Blair Davenport has been the one who has been attacking everyone backstage, like your Nikita Lyons and your Sol Ruka. And Danny Palmer obviously has a problem with this because Sol Ruka is one of her best friends. So it's Blair Davenport versus Danny Palmer. A match that doesn't last that long, and I think you can tell who is coming out with the victory because who's getting the push? It's Blair Davenport, right? So Blair Davenport comes out with the victory. It was a very short match. And it did its job. It got Blair Davenport over as like a threat to the NXT Women's Championship eventually, I believe. So I can't wait for Blair Davenport to be put into the championship picture. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you happy that Blair Davenport's back? Do you think that she should have been placed straight into the NXT Women's Championship picture? I don't think that would be a great idea, seeing as though we've got Tiffany Stratton at the moment, someone who was already a heel champion. And someone that I don't think Blair Davenport really deserves to take a loss to. If you're going to be building up the women's division, I don't think you want Blair Davenport taking a loss to Tiffany. Something that I think would absolutely happen, seeing as though her title reign has only just started. And I don't think it'd be a good idea to take it off her so quickly. But Blair Davenport and Danny Palmer have a great match. I can really see Danny Palmer doing a lot more in the future, just because she's such a great talent. We backstage now, we got Dana Brooke walking into the arena because she has decided to enter the NXT Women's Championship Battle Royal. She said, "I've heard of a lot about NXT, and there's a lot going on down here, and I want to see the opportunity as the opportunity is in front of me. So I'm entering the Battle Royal." Is Dana going to win the Battle Royal? Spoiler alert, no. Speaking of the Battle Royal, we're getting an interview now with Tiffany Stratton, the NXT Women's Champion, who basically says, "Come one, come all." She doesn't mind who wins the Battle Royal because it was her idea and she is willing to take on anybody. Nobody believed in her. Nobody wanted her to win the Women's Championship. But now she has, and she's on top. Toodles. And yeah, Tiffany Stratton's great. Tiffany Stratton's really good. You don't need to give her that much time on the microphone to get herself over. I think she's very, very good at doing that. Next, we get another match versus Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams. And now this is a match that I thought, to be honest, was going to be the main event, but apparently it's not. Baron Corbin and Trick Williams actually have a really surprisingly good match here. I thought this was going to be a quick squash from Baron Corbin. But no, Trick Williams actually gets a lot of offense on here. The commentary even mentioned this, that Trick Williams is really giving himself a good accounting. But he really wants to get an even better account of himself if he beats Baron Corbin, something that unfortunately does not happen. Baron Corbin hits the end of days, 1, 2, 3. Trick Williams takes the L. But I'm absolutely fine with this because once again, Trick Williams does show a good accounting for himself. Baron Corbin is back on NXT and he needs the victory more because he has got a match later next week with Ilya Dragunov. And I'm assuming after that, this might even be a number 1 contenders match versus to face Carmelo Hayes for the NXT championship. So that would be really good. I wouldn't mind seeing Ilya versus Carmelo or Baron versus Carmelo. But Trick Williams, like I say, I think he really deserves a little bit more in the ring. But, you know, it is what it is, right? If you see me keep looking off camera, by the way, guys, it's because I'm looking at my notes to see what's coming on next. I'm very sad what's coming on next because, God, I don't know what this is. We got Nathan Frazier talking about Noam Dar's new faction, who we later on get to see the name of, and I'll talk about that when we get to it. But Dragon Lee is the correspondent or the foreign international correspondent for his new show. I don't know what this segment was. I think that Nathan Frazier needs a little bit of work on the microphone. I think he's fantastic in the ring. One of the best in NXT, maybe one of the best in WWE. But I think in terms of on the microphone, it comes across as very cringy to me. He has got a bit of charisma behind it, don't get me wrong, but I really think that when it comes to giving a promo and like getting himself over, I'm wanting to change the TV channel. Just because, like I say, it's just cringy. And it doesn't sound right in my ear. And like the thing with like Dragon Lee and Nathan Frazier being friends, like I get it. I like the dynamic a little bit because they're both fast lucha. One's a lucha, one is just a fast British guy. I'm excited for all of this, but maybe give Nathan Frazier less time on the microphone. I know that's the only way you learn, but it just doesn't work for me. It really doesn't work for me, and this segment really fell on its arse just because of that. Yeah, but next we get Mustafa Ali next backstage, saying that he's a free agent and he is looking for a championship and looking for the opportunities here now in NXT. Speaking of, Wesley then comes up and tries to offer him a North American Championship match. Ali declines and said he wants to earn it, and he wants to earn it tonight against Joe Gacy because that is who Ali is facing tonight. Which, by the way, is quite a decent match. A very surprising match for me, like in terms of who came out with the victory. Ali versus Joe Gacy. Ali comes out with the victory by pinning Joe Gacy. Now, I thought this was a strange decision, seeing as though Schism won earlier in the night, and I would have thought Joe Gacy would have also picked up a victory, giving himself a lot of momentum. But I suppose it makes sense, we're seeing as though we're getting a 6-man tag next week, because after Ali picks up the victory, the rest of Schism come out and attack Ali. But guess who's here to save the day? We got Tyler Bate and Wes Lee. They all come out. Obviously, the odds are even now. Schism scatter. And it looks like next week we are getting a 6-man tag team match with Tyler Bate, Wesley, and Mustafa Ali versus Schism, consisting of GYV. I don't know the name of the other one. You got Jagger Reed, Joe Gacy, and what is it? Something Fowler? I don't know. Some of the names for these people are so weird. But I think Schism have got a lot of interesting directions to go here in NXT. They've got a lot of rivalries going on, which is very good. Keep them busy, keep them on screen, keep them on camera. Like I say, I thought it was surprising that Joe Gacy took the loss, but all in all, Schism came out looking quite strong in NXT tonight. We go backstage now and I know we've got like a running thing here where like tag team partners are facing each other on NXT programming. So Malik Blade and Idris and Nofi go up to JB and BJ and give him like basically a quiz on how well do you know each other now that you faced each other in the ring. And now they know, like, it turns out that it works because BJ and JB know each other amazingly. And then it turns over to Malik and Idris, who don't know each other at all, who don't even know each other's birthdays, favorite color, like how do you like your steak cooked? The last one I came up with, but so they're facing each other next week. Apparently, we got next week we're getting Idris Inoue versus Malik Blade. I'm excited to see that match. I think they're both very, very good in the ring, and I think they're very, very good as a tag team as well. Just before this segment ends, however, Gallus comes up to him and says, "Guys, no matter what, no matter how much chemistry you two have and how much you two know each other, it doesn't matter because you won't beat us anyway. Like it doesn't matter because Gallus boys are always going to be on top." I'm kind of warming up to Gallus being the tag team champions. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like for a long time, I was a little bit on the shelf about Gallus, but I'm getting to warm up to him a little bit. Next, we get Noam Dar and his new faction consisting of, right, you're going to have to give me a minute with one of these names. You get obviously Noam Dar, you got Aura Mensa, which I'm happy that he's finally getting some TV time because he's fantastic. I don't think I've seen him since like last November when he was in the North American ladder match. I'm a massive fan of Aura Mensa. Lash Legend is also in this faction, which is fantastic. I think Lash Legend is incredibly underutilized, and the final person is Jakira Jackson. I don't know her name. I'm not familiar with it. I know she's fairly new in NXT, but every time they said her name on this episode of NXT, I couldn't catch it. Even when she was in the Battle Royal. I couldn't hear what they were saying. Right, but it's weird the name that they're called. They're called the Metaphor. Okay, fine. I mean, the name doesn't really matter to me. What matters is there's a lot of people in this faction that are going to be getting a lot of TV time, which I'm happy with. Like I say, Aura Mensa. I'm a massive fan of Aura Mensa. Noam Dar is very talented in the ring. And for me, I like, once again, a bit like Gallus, I'm warming up to him on the microphone. I think he has a specific type of charisma, which you don't usually see. So that's great. And Lash Legend is always great. And I'm excited to see more of Shakira Jackson. It's Shakira. I don't know. Whatever her name is. Anyway, I'm excited to see the Metaphor getting a bit of TV time, and I'm interested to see. Oh, by the way, we didn't really get an answer to Nathan Fraser's challenge. Apparently, I mean, what I forgot about, because in this new segment, he challenged him to a Heritage Cup match. next week or something. I don't know. Well, it's going to be a good match, but I wasn't really paying attention to what Nathan Fraser was saying because, like I say, he cringes me out. But we never got an answer to it. He was just going on about his faction. No one was. So, you know. Next, we got Damon Kemp versus Eddie Thorpe. And this is a little bit of a rivalry that's been going on because Damon Kemp has been calling Eddie Thorpe like a bit of an amateur in NXT, which is kind of funny because I believe Eddie Thorpe has a little bit more wrestling experience than Damon Kemp in terms of professional wrestling. Now, I know Damon Kemp has been like an Olympic athlete, right? A little like his brother. But he's been wrestling longer than Damon Kemp. This week, once again, Eddie Thorpe comes out with the victory, but it ends a little bit more controversial because Damon Kemp, after the replay, it looks like his leg was under the rope or on the rope. Booker T noticed it, Vic Joseph, myself, and pretty much no one else noticed it. So maybe we're going to be getting another match between Damon and Eddie. These two guys have quite a good chemistry. I'm a big fan of this Eddie Thorpe. I've not really seen him on the indie scene that much, but I am interested in seeing more of him on NXT. And Damon Kemp, for me, is very underutilized, and I think he should be either back in the Diamond Mine or bring him up to the main roster to join the Alpha Academy if you're going to be getting rid of Otis. I think that'd be really, really good. So Damon Kemp, and yeah, there we go. Gigi Dolan is backstage talking to her brother on the phone, saying that she's excited to go in this Battle Royal because it's the first time to really shoot out on her own and go after the NXT Women's Championship. She ends the call and is then confronted by Kiana James, who pretty much puts her down. This then sets up a bit of a rivalry in the Battle Royal for a little bit later on. I mean, I say a little bit later on, it's pretty much coming up in a minute. We have got next Dabba-Kato versus Scripps. Now, this for me was weird, even though Axiom kind of distracted Dabba-Kato in this match. I don't think he should have lost. Like, I know there's like a little bit of a budding relationship going on with Axiom and Scripps at the moment. But Dabba-Kato, for me, this is like his second time that he's lost that I've noticed. And for me, I think he should be one of these big, intimidating guys in NXT because I think he's got a lot to offer. He's one of the more talented, bigger men in WWE at the moment. So I thought this was weird that Dabba-Kato took the L, and it wasn't that good of a match either. It was a classic, small versus big, small running away from big hitting some big moves, but eventually small hitting the roll up on big and coming out with the victory. And then Dabba-Kato just beats them down both anyway. Just give him the victory. Just give him the win. If that's what you were going to do anyway, just give him the win. Swiftly moving on. Joe Gacy is having a bit of a tantrum. Okay, I'm not even gonna correct myself. Backstage with the rest of the schism because he feels like he wasn't pulling his weight. And next week we're gonna crush this false friendship between between Wesley, Tyler Bate, and Mustafa Ali. Ava Rain calms him down and says, one strong root cannot hold up a tree. I have a little bit of a theory about Ava. I think she's trying to take over the schism, maybe try to be the new leader of the schism or the dyad or whatever you want to call them. Like she's kind of always there when Joe Gacy is talking. She always has something to say. And I think maybe she's making some power moves in the dyad. But let me know what you think about that in the comments. Number one, are you excited for this match next week? And number two, do you think Ava Rain has a bit of an ulterior motive when it comes to supporting Joe Gacy? I think she does. But only time will tell with that. Now, what do we have here? Oh, yeah, like before the Women's Battle Royal, Mustafa Ali convinces Wesley and Tyler Bate to challenge to fight for the North American Championship one-on-one at some point. He says he has a Money in the Bank qualifying match next week on Raw. And next week, now we've got the 6-man tag team match. But after that, we're going to have to talk about and discuss you guys challenging each other, going against each other for the North American Championship, which I'm all down to see. Wesley versus Tyler Bate, take my money. Speaking of something that I'm looking forward to see, the Women's Battle Royal. A lot of people have a good showing in this match. Cora Jade has some good showings in this match. We have Lash Legend and Chikara Jackson working together they're a new faction now. They keep on exiting the ring and entering the ring under the bottom rope, eliminating some people. Very, very good. We had Aura Mensa catching Chikara Jackson a couple of times to stop herself from being eliminated. Eventually she does. Lash Legend also eventually gets eliminated. It comes down to at the end where earlier in the match Chikara knocked Thea Hale into the steps and she's out for a little while. It comes down to at the end where there's only two people left in the ring, or we think there's only two people. Thea Hale jumps on the apron and does the little bit of the Ultimate Warrior shake of the ropes, which is really cool to see. She gets in the ring and they all fight. It's Cora Jade, Dana Brooke, and Thea Hale last in this ring. Thea Hale manages to do a double elimination on Dana Brooke and Cora Jade, coming out with the victory. Really surprising for me. I didn't think Thea was going to win this match, but I'm happy that she is. She's really showed improvement over the past couple of weeks, so I'm down to see this match. After this, we get the most interesting part of the night. Take my money. Bron Breakker, we get a little bit of a glimpse of Bron Breakker walking through the parking lot after NXT, and the cameras catch up to him and say, why did you attack Dragunov? He says he's going to be holding everybody to accountability for the words. Dragunov says he was the toughest person, the most intense. Well, that just shows that he isn't, because I was able to attack him. He's going to be holding everyone responsible for their words, especially all the way at the top. Speaking of at the top, Seth Rollins, you come to NXT, put your WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line against me. Guys, take my money. Bron Breakker versus Seth Rollins. Number one, this for me shows that the World Heavyweight Championship is going to be one of those titles. Hopefully that's going to be defended everywhere on TV, which I'm excited for. If they don't leave this for a pay-per-view, I would just love to see it on NXT. That would be great. Secondly, this shows that WWE see money in Bron Breakker, that they're giving him an opportunity for Bron Breakker to face Seth Rollins, man. Like that for the World Heavyweight Championship. Please bring Bron Breakker up to the main roster. He is more than ready for the main roster, guys. And speaking of more than ready, I'm more than ready to end this video, because NXT this week was pretty good for me. I have no further thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think of NXT in the comments. The most exciting bit for me, like I said, was Bron Breakker versus Seth Rollins at some point, which would be amazing, especially at a main event pay-per-view. That'd be great to introduce Bron Breakker to a wider audience. Fantastic. Like I said, let me know what you guys think. Have you guys watched NXT this week? If you did, leave it in the comments. Leave a like on this video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Go follow us on TikTok and on Instagram at Outcasted OC, or at the same name. I'm going to leave the description of all of our Instagrams and our TikToks. Go follow the rest of the guys: Ross, Courtney, Lauren, and G, and myself, both on Instagram and TikTok. I hope you've had an absolutely amazing week this week, guys. Raw apparently was quite good. I've not had a chance to see it yet. Like I said, I've only just come off vacation, so I will be catching up to that as soon as possible. But I hope you've had a good day, and I hope you enjoyed this review of my review of NXT this week. But for now, I'll chat to you guys later. Peace.